Welcome, adventurers, to the mystical, marvelous, and often misunderstood world of Dungeons & Dragons character origins. Today we're talking about why your character's origin isn't just a line on your character sheet, it's the beating heart of your hero's story.
That's right! Your origin shapes who your character is, why they picked up a sword, spellbook, or loot, and what they're fighting for. It's not just a mechanical choice, right? It's a springboard for roleplay gold. So let's dive into why it matters.
First, your character's origin directly impacts their abilities and skills. Picking a background gives you ability score increases, a feat, origin feat, skill proficiencies, and even tool proficiencies. And hey, who doesn't love starting with some cool gear?
Yeah, but it's not just about mechanics. The background you choose informs your character's past. Those pivotal moments that led them to adventure, right? Why were they a noble? Do they have a scandalous secret? A sailor who's seen things that nobody believes? Or a farmer who dreams of something more?
The best kind of farmers. And don't worry if you're new, we're going to break down all 16 backgrounds in the 2024 rulebook. We'll cover what classes they work well with and give you a tailor-made epic origin story for each that you can use. Let's start with the mechanics of backgrounds.
Every background comes with the following components. These aren't just for flavor. They're the foundation of your character's gameplay. So you have ability scores. So each background lists 3 ability scores. You can increase one by 2 and another by 1, or increase all 3 by 1. Keep in mind, none of these increases can raise a score above 20.
Origin feat. Every background grants your character a specific origin feat. Feats often add unique abilities and bonuses to your characters, and these are described in the player's handbook, and we'll talk about some of these here on our channel and in this video.
And skill proficiencies. Each background provides proficiency in 2 specific skills. This reflects what your character learned from their past experiences.
And tool proficiencies. You'll also gain proficiency with one tool, either a specific tool or one chosen from the Artisan's tool category. Tools proficiencies let you perform specialized tasks and checks, including crafting, which is really awesome.
Ooh, and then you have equipment. So finally, each background gives you a choice between a package of starting equipment or 50 gold pieces to spend as you see fit.
These mechanical elements aren't just numbers in your sheet, they're storytelling seeds. Now let's break down each background and pair them with their most fitting classes and those epic origin ideas.
So there's the Acolyte. You devoted yourself to service in a temple, either nestled in a town or secluded in a sacred grove. There you performed rites in honor of a god. Or Pantheon, you served under a priest and studied religion. Thanks to your priest's instruction and your own devotion, you also learned how to channel a modicum of divine power in service to your place of worship and the people who prayed there too.
Acolyte. So here's what you'll get. Your ability score increases can be intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. Your feat is a magic initiate cleric. Your skill proficiencies are insight and religion. Tools are calligrapher supplies, or 50 gold pieces.
The best classes for this origin are clerics, paladins, or even warlocks with a celestial pact. The background screams divine connection.
And here's our epic origin idea. Imagine you were the apprentice to a cranky high priest who made you polish temple floors. But one fateful day, a glowing sigil appeared on your hand. A divine sign that even the gods get bored and want a little bit of drama.
What makes this origin idea work so well is the inherent drama. The mundane priestly chores are juxtaposed with divine intervention that set up the character who is reluctantly special. It's a perfect mix of humor and epic storytelling.
I love it. Next up, Artisan. You began mopping floors and scrubbing counters in Artisan's workshop for a few copper pieces as soon as you were strong enough to carry a bucket. When you were old enough to be the apprentice, you learned to create basic crafts of your own, as well as how to sweet talk the occasional demanding customer. Your trade has also given you a keen eye for detail.
The Artisan background brings craftsmanship to the forefront. Here's what it offers. Your ability scores are strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Your feat is crafter. Your skill proficiencies include investigation and persuasion. Your tool proficiencies, you can choose one type of Artisan's tools. And your equipment, you can choose between the Artisan's tools, 2 pouches, traveler's clothes, and 32 pieces of gold, or just 50 pieces of gold.
The best classes for this origin are fighters, rogues, and wizards. You'll excel at crafting and detailed investigation.
And here's our epic origin idea. You started as a blacksmith's apprentice, forging horseshoes. Then one day, you crafted an enchanted sword. by accident. And now everyone, including the sword's former owner, wants a piece of you.
Uh-oh. This origin works because it gives you instant stakes. You're not just crafting for fun, you're thrust in the world of danger through your own talent. It's relatable, but also deeply engaging for adventuring.
Then there's the Charlatan. Once you were old enough to order an ale, you soon had a favorite stool in every tavern within 10 miles of where you were born. As you traveled the circuit from public house to watering hole, you learned to prey on unfortunates who were in the market for a comforting lie or two, perhaps a sham potion or a forged ancestry records.
For those who prefer the shadowy art, Charlatan has you covered. Here's what you get. Your ability scores will be Dex, Constitution, and Charisma. Your feats is Skilled, and your proficiencies are Deception and Sleight of Hand. You get the Forgery Kit, which you can choose between that, including a costume and fine clothes, and 15 gold pieces or 50 gold pieces.
The best classes for this origin are rogues, sorcerers, and bards. Charlatans are born con artists.
And here's our epic origin idea. You peddled fake love potions to gullible nobles. It was all fun and games until one worked a little too well. Now you're dodging an obsessive suitor and their family's goons.
And what makes this origin amazing is the comedy and chaos potential. You're constantly looking over your shoulder, which adds tension and humor to any campaign.
I love that. Okay, next up with the backgrounds are criminal. You eked out a living in dark alleyways, cutting purses and burgling shops. Perhaps you were part of a small gang of like-minded wrongdoers who looked out for each other, or maybe you were a lone wolf, fending for yourself against local Thieves Guild and more fearsome lawbreakers.
Criminals walk a fine line between survival and trouble. Here's their package. Your ability scores are Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence. Your feat is Alert, and your skill proficiencies are Sleight of Hand and Stealth. Very important. Your tool proficiency is for the Thieves' Tools, and then your equipment you can choose between 2 daggers, Thieves' Tools, crowbar, 2 pouches, a traveler's set of clothing, and 16 gold pieces, or 50 gold pieces.
The best class for this origin are rogues, rangers, even warlocks. Criminals thrive on sneaky tactics.
And here's our epic origin idea. You were part of a Thieves Guild, but you stole from the guild leader. So now you're on the run, and the bounty on your head grows daily. Hope you're faster than their assassins are.
This origin shines because it's intensely personal. The betrayal angle makes it emotionally gripping, and the constant danger keeps the stakes high and immediate.
Then there's the entertainer. You spent much of your youth following roving fairs and carnivals, performing odd jobs for musicians and acrobats in exchange for lessons. You may have learned how to walk on a tightrope, how to play a lute in a distinct style, or how to recite poetry with impeccable diction. To this day, you thrive on applause and long for the stage.
The entertainer background is for the starry-eyed showstoppers. Here's what you gain. As your ability scores, you have strength, dexterity, charisma. Your feat is musician. Proficiencies are acrobatics and performance. Makes sense. Your tool is one kind of musical instrument, and you can choose between that musical instrument, 2 costumes, a mirror, perfume, traveler's clothes, a little bit of gold, or the 50 gold pieces.
The best classes for this origin are the bards, sorcerers, or even monks if you want to do a Cirque du Soleil vibe.
Here's the epic origin idea. You performed in a traveling circus, juggling swords and secrets, but when a rival troupe framed you for sabotage, you fled, hoping to clear your name and reclaim your rightful place under the spotlight.
This origin works because it's dripping with flair and tension. The circus background lets you blend the acrobatics with the drama seamlessly into gameplay. Plus, revenge stories are for motivation.
Absolutely. Next up, we have farmer. You grew up close to the land. Years tending animals and cultivating the earth rewarded you with patience and good health. You have a keen appreciation for nature's bounty alongside a healthy respect for nature's wrath.
The farmer background brings earthly roots to adventuring. Here's what you get. Your ability scores are strength, constitution, and wisdom. Your feat is tough. Your skill proficiencies are animal handling, that makes sense, and nature. Your tool proficiencies are the carpenter's tools. And your equipment you can choose between a sickle, the carpenter's tools, healer's kit, an iron pot, a shovel, the traveler's clothes, 30 gold pieces, or 50 gold pieces.
That's a lot of weapons. The best classes for this origin are druids, rangers, and fighters. Farmers bring resilience and practicality to any party.
And here's our epic origin idea for you. One stormy night, you found a meteorite in your field. But now the crops glow faintly, and the cows moo ominously, and you have strange powers. time to figure out what's going on.
What makes this great is the mystery. The cosmic twist adds an unexpected layer to a humble farmer's story, giving you a reason to explore the worlds and maybe even the stars.
Then there's the guard. Your feet ache when you remember the countless hours you spent at your post in the tower. You were trained to keep one eye looking outside the wall, watching for marauders sweeping from the nearby forest, and your other eye looking inside the wall, searching for cut purses and troublemakers.
The guard background is ideal for defenders of the realm. Here's what you gain: strength, intelligence, wisdom, the alert feat, proficiency in athletics and perception, and the tool will be a gaming set for those boring times on watch.
Just play a little D&D while you're on watch.
Yeah, that's funny. Alongside spear, light crossbow, some bolts, the gaming set, a hooded lantern, manacles, quiver, traveler's clothes, 12 gold pieces, or of course 50 gold pieces.
And the best classes for this origin are fighters, paladins, or clerics. Guards are disciplined and vigilant.
And here's our epic origin idea. You guarded a sleepy village until a band of goblins attacked. Armed only with your spear and your wits, you became the unlikely hero. Now you seek to protect others who cannot defend themselves.
Oh, excellent. And this origin really shines because it's relatable. A small town hero stepping into bigger shoes is a classic trope, but it works every time. It's easy to connect this to a character's sense of duty.
Now, next up is guide. You came of age outdoors, far from settled lands. Your home was anywhere you choose to put your bedroll. There are wonders in the wilderness, strange monsters, pristine forests, streams, overgrown ruins of great halls once trod by giants, and you learn to fend for yourself as you explore. From time to time, you guided friendly nature priests who instructed you in the fundamentals of channeling magic of the wild.
The guide background is for the wilderness wanderers. Here's what it offers. Your ability scores are dexterity, constitution, and wisdom, and your feat is the magic initiative druid. Your skill proficiencies are stealth and survival. Your tool proficiencies are the cartographer's tools. Oh, that's lovely to know where you're going. And your equipment includes a short bow, 20 arrows, the cartographer's tools, a bedroll, a quiver, a tent, the traveler's clothes, only 3 gold pieces, or you could choose the 50 gold pieces.
You don't need to go out in the wild, you make all your
That's
stuff.
true.
The best classes for this origin are, of course, rangers and druids. Guides are perfect for parties venturing into the unknown.
And here is our epic origin idea. You've charted forgotten trails, led caravans through perilous lands, and survived an encounter with a dragon. Now you're returning to claim its treasure, or warn others of its power.
This origin is perfect because it's bold and adventurous. It hints at a rich backstory of exploration while setting up an exciting future encounter with a dragon.
The next one we have for you is the Hermit. You spent your early years secluded in a hut or monastery located well beyond the outskirts of the nearest settlement. In those days, your only companions were the creatures of the forest and those who would occasionally visit to bring news of the outside world and supplies. The solitude allowed you to spend many hours pondering the mysteries of creation.
Wow. The Hermit background is for those who have spent their formative years in solitude. It'll give you constitution, wisdom, and charisma as your ability scores you can choose. Your feat is healer. Your proficiencies are medicine and religion. Your tool is herbalism kit, and you get that alongside a quarterstaff, bedroll, a book of philosophy specifically.
Oh, I love that.
Lamp, oil, and traveler's clothes, 16 gold, or of course choose the 50.
The best classes for this origin are druids, clerics, or monks. Hermits are perfect for introspective, wisdom-seeking type characters.
And here's our epic origin idea. You spent years in isolation in a mountaintop monastery, delving into the mysteries of life. One day, a cryptic prophecy led you to leave your retreat, convinced the fate of the world depends on your hidden knowledge.
Oh, and this works great because it gives your character a strong sense of purpose. The solitude adds depth, while the prophecy hook gives you a personal stake in the campaign.
Next up is merchant. You are apprenticed to a trader, caravan master, or shopkeeper, learning the fundamentals of commerce. You traveled broadly, earning a living by buying and selling raw materials to artisans who need them to practice their craft or finish works from such crafters. You might have transported goods from one place to another by ship, wagon, caravan, or bought them from traveling traders and sold them in your own shop. That's cool.
Oh, the merchant background adds a touch of savvy and trade to adventuring. So here's what it offers. The ability scores are constitution, intelligence, and charisma. Your feat, lucky. Skill proficiencies are animal handling and persuasion. That's great if you have to interact with lots of different shopkeepers. Your tool proficiencies are the navigator's tools, and the equipment that you're provided, you can choose between the navigator's tools, 2 pouches, the traveler's clothes, 22 gold pieces, or 50 gold pieces.
Best classes for this origin are bards, sorcerers, or even fighters for the charismatic merchant warrior archetype.
And here's our epic origin idea. You traveled far and wide as an apprentice trader, One fateful deal turned sour. Oh, and you accidentally sold cursed goods. Now you're trying to recover your reputation and survive the curse.
This origin adds a mix of humor and intrigue. The curse hook keeps things spicy, while your trade experience gives you natural connections in the world itself.
Then there's the noble. You were raised in a castle, surrounded by wealth, power, and privilege. Your family of minor aristocrats ensured that you received a first-class education, some of which you appreciated and some of which you resented. Your time in the castle, especially the many hours you spent observing your family at court, also taught you a great deal about leadership.
The noble background is for characters born into privilege. Here's what you gain. Strength, intelligence, charisma as your ability scores. Your feat is skilled. Your proficiencies are history and persuasion. Your tool is a gaming set. You get that alongside fine clothes and, of course, perfume with 29 gold pieces or 50 gold pieces.
Great for a life of court. And the best classes for this origin are paladins, bards, or wizards. Nobles bring leadership and charisma to any party.
Here's our epic origin idea. You were the black sheep of your aristocratic family. After being framed for a scandal.
What?
Was that scandal? You set out to prove your innocence, maybe. Or create a name for yourself beyond your family's shadow.
This is a gold mine for roleplay. The mix of privilege and personal struggle makes your character dynamic and relatable.
Next up is Sage. You spent your formative years traveling between manors and monasteries, performing odd jobs and services in exchange for access to the libraries. You whiled away many a long evening studying books and scrolls, learning the lore of the multiverse, even the rudimentary elements of magic, and your mind still yearns for more.
The Sage background is for scholars and seekers of knowledge. Here's what you get. You have the ability scores of Constitution, Intelligence, and Wisdom. Your feat is Magic Initiate, Wizard. Your skill proficiencies, Arcana and History. Tool proficiency are the Calligrapher's Supplies. And your equipment, you can choose between Quarterstaff, your Calligrapher's Supplies, a book of history, parchment, 8 sheets, no more, no less, robe, 8 gold pieces, or 50 gold pieces.
The best classes for this origin are, of course, wizards, also clerics and warlocks. Sages excel at uncovering secrets and solving mysteries.
And here's our epic origin idea. You discovered a forbidden tome in a forgotten library. Now ancient secrets whisper in your mind, urging you to uncover even greater mysteries.
Is it back now? The origin works because it's mysterious and compelling. The forbidden knowledge adds depth and gives your character a reason to venture into dangerous territory.
Then there's the sailor.
Yo-ho!
You lived as a seafarer, wind at your back and the decks swaying beneath your feet. You've perched on bar stools in more ports than you can remember, faced mighty storms, and swapped stories with folk who live beneath the waves.
The sailor background is for adventurers who spent their lives at sea. You gain strength, dexterity, and wisdom as your scores. Your feat is tavern brawler. Okay, that checks out. Acrobatics and perception are your proficiencies, and you get navigator's tools, which you get in addition to a dagger, rope, traveler's clothes, and 20 gold or 50 gold pieces.
The best classes for this origin are fighters, rangers, or even barbarians. Sailors are rugged and resourceful.
And here's our epic origin idea. Your ship was swallowed by a storm. That's
no.
epic. And you washed ashore with no memory of how you survived. Amnesia! Strange dreams now haunt you, hinting at something lurking deep in the sea.
Oh, this is fantastic for creating intrigue. The loss and mystery provide strong personal stakes, and the sea lore adds a touch of the unknown.
But now we have Scribe. You spent your formative years in a scriptorium, a monastery dedicated to the preservation of knowledge, or a government agency where you learn to write with a clear hand and produce finely written texts. Perhaps you scribed government documents or copied tomes of literature. You might have some skill as a writer of poetry, narrative, or research. Above all, you have a careful attention to detail, helping you avoid mistakes in the documents you copy and create.
The Scribe background is perfect for meticulous record keeping. And here's what it offers. Your ability scores are dexterity, intelligence, and wisdom. Your feat is skilled. Your skill proficiencies are investigation and perception. Your tool proficiency is the calligrapher's supplies. And the equipment you can choose between the calligrapher's supplies, fine clothes, a lamp, oil, 3 flasks, parchment, 12 sheets.
4 more than the other one.
And 23 gold, or 50 gold.
The best classes for this origin are, of course, wizards, rogues, or clerics. Scribes are precise and detail-oriented.
And here's our epic origin idea. As an apprentice scribe, you uncovered a conspiracy in government documents. Now you're fleeing powerful enemies, clutching the evidence that could change the realm.
Oh no. This is a great origin for intrigue-based campaigns. The focus on secrets and survival makes your character a natural fit for a story-driven adventure.
Then there's the soldier. You began training for war as soon as you reached adulthood and carry precious few memories of life before you took up arms. Battle is in your blood. Sometimes you catch yourself reflexively performing the basic fighting exercises you learned first. Eventually, you put that training to use on the battlefield, protecting the realm by waging war.
The soldier background is for disciplined warriors. Here's what you gain. Strength, dexterity, constitution as your ability scores. Your feat is savage attacker, no doubt. Proficiencies are athletics and intimidation. You have your gaming set, which you can get in addition to a spear, short bow, arrows, and a healer's kit, a quiver, traveler's clothes, and 14 gold. Wow, that's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. The best classes for this origin are fighters, barbarians, or rangers. Soldiers are built for battle.
And here's our epic origin idea. You were the lone survival of a brutal battle, haunted by your comrades' sacrifices. You now fight to ensure no one else has to share their fate.
This works because it's deeply personal. The survivor's guilt gives your character strong motivations and a compelling backstory.
Wayfarer is up next. You grew up on the streets surrounded by similarly ill-fated cast-offs. A few of them friends, and a few of them rivals. You slept where you could and did odd jobs for food. At times when the hunger became unbearable, you resorted to theft. Still, you never lost your pride and never abandoned hope. Fate is not finished with you yet.
The Wayfarer background is for wanderers, and here's what it offers. Your ability scores are dexterity, wisdom, and charisma. Your feat is lucky. Skill proficiencies are insight and stealth, and your tool proficiencies are the thieves' tools. The equipment offered, you can choose between daggers, thieves' tools gaming set, any of them, a bedroll, 2 pouches, and the traveler's clothes, 16 gold or 50 gold.
The best classes for this origin are rogues, of course, rangers, or bards. Wayfarers are adaptable and resourceful.
And here's our epic origin idea. You grew up surviving on wits and luck. A fateful encounter with a cursed artifact set your path, and it's a path you're making up as you go along.
Its origin is fantastic because it combines survival instincts with a touch of destiny. Artifact Hook gives you room to explore a larger narrative.
So, you've gone through the backgrounds of the book and thought, oh, these are great, but what if I want to try something truly unique? Well, good news. D&D 2024 lets you create your own custom background.
That's right. Whether you're looking to weave a tailor-made origin into the fabric of your world or just want to craft the perfect story for your character, here's a step-by-step guide to making your own background. So let's break it down.
So step 1, you're going to choose your abilities. First, you're going to pick 3 ability scores to enhance. Think about the kind of life your character led. So strength or dexterity for a background that's involving physical labor or agility. Perfect for soldiers and sailors and acrobats.
And constitution for roles requiring endurance, like farmers or miners.
And then intelligence or wisdom for cerebral or spiritual pursuits, like scholars, healers, or priests.
And there's charisma for those who thrive in the spotlight or social arenas, like performers or diplomats.
So you can increase one score by 2 and another by 1, or increase all 3 by 1. Just remember, no score can exceed 20. This step sets the tone for your character's strengths.
Step 2, choose a feat. Next, choose one feat from the origin category. Feats like Skilled, Lucky, or Magic Initiate can reflect your character's unique talents. This is where the mechanics start to tell your story.
Well, for example, if your character is a street-smart rogue, Skilled might represent their knack for picking up new tricks. Or maybe Magic Initiate suits a farmer who stumbled upon an ancient artifact and learned a spell or 2.
Cool. Step 3, choose skill proficiencies. Now pick 2 skill proficiencies of your choice. These don't have to directly relate to the abilities you chose earlier, but they should probably make sense for your character's backstory.
So if your character is a former sailor, athletics and perception make sense. But if they were a tavern brawler, insight and intimidation might be more for fighting. Flex your creative muscles here.
Step 4, choose your tool proficiency. Tend to pick a tool proficiency. These should connect to the practice of your background. For example, a blacksmith might take the smith's tools. A wandering artist might choose painter supplies. A gambler might go with a gaming set.
Tools are where flavor meets the function. They're the little details that make your character's past come alive.
Step 5, choose equipment. Finally, assemble your starting equipment. You have 50 gold pieces to spend on a package of gear. Just remember, no martial weapons or armor. That's what your main class is for.
Your choices here should reflect your character's background. A former merchant might start with a set of scales and then fine clothes, while a reclusive hermit might carry little more than a staff and a few books.
And there you have it, a fully customized character background that fits seamlessly into your world, your character's story, and your campaign.
This is such a cool option for players and DMs alike. You can build a background that not only enhances your character mechanically, but also ties directly into the themes of your game. The possibilities are endless.
Wow. Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground. All 16 backgrounds and even a custom background. each with their own mechanics and stories. So whether you're rolling dice for the first time or crafting your 20th character, your background can bring depth and excitement to your D&D experience.
Absolutely. Your character's origin is the spark that lights their adventure. It's the foundation of their identity, their quirks, and their motivations too. And hey, if you're ever stuck, remember, there's no wrong way to have fun in Dungeons & Dragons.
That's right. So grab those dice, craft a killer origin, and dive into the world of magic, mayhem, and mischief. Your adventure is waiting.
Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more epic D&D content. And as always, may your rolls be high and your stories
Unforgettable.